Hello, my friends. My name is Richard Weberg, for those of you who do not know me, and today's video, we are going to be talking about what to look for in an MLM sponsor. So, we have many people come to us that look at a network marketing company and they're like, contact us and want to know more information because they don't know anybody that's in. And so then we end up sponsoring them because they're looking for a sponsor because they don't know anybody in it. And basically what I'm going to be covering today is that, and how, what to look for in a sponsor so that you're not aligning yourself with a potential downfall to what you want to accomplish. So you basically have, two types of people out there. You got a person that goes sponsor shopping intentionally, meaning somebody introduced them to the business and they go sponsor shopping looking for somebody that they believe they're going to get lots of spillover from. And in this business, that is something that people do wrong because a lot of times that ends up making a huge mistake for them. And we have been sponsor shop before. We have talked to people and they think somebody's bigger than us, better than us, and they go join them, even though we introduced them to it. We've had it happen to us. Everybody has it happen to them, and that's the way it is. Now, most of those people come back to us and actually express to us they wish they would have signed up with us because of the reasons I'm going to talk about here today. So, good character, that's something to look for. And if you have a friend or an acquaintance that somebody introduced you to the current MLM or network marketing company you're looking at, and they have a good character and you believe they have their heart in the right place, and there's nothing against joining them. Sponsor shopping thinking that you're going to get hordes of spillover and you're not going to join that person because they introduced you to it because they don't have much marketing experience. I think nowadays that's really bad because it's bad anyway. That person, if they had enough gumption to introduce you to it, how many more people over time could they introduce you to it? And I'm going to tell you a story here right off the bat so you can understand that. Years ago, I got into Amway. That was my first experience with network marketing. I was in it for 6 years, became successful at it, and the story of why I got out, I ended up selling my distributorship to one of my upline sponsors. That's for another video. But anyway, when I went to the meeting that I was going to go to, a friend of mine tricked me, and basically I thought I was going to a beer party. Remember, I was 20 years old, and we were going to all go there and have drinks. So I went to his house, brought some beer, put it on the table. Next thing I know, here comes this guy in a suit, and he's doing a board meeting, because back then everybody wore suits when they were doing these meetings and stuff like that. It's not like that today, but back then it was. And he starts drawing circles on the board, and half of us weren't even paying attention because we're too busy drinking. And then all of a sudden the numbers started to catch our eye. And we were like, wow, this looks really good. Like we could finally break free. And then your eyes start to light up. You're like, hey, I can make a lot of money with this. This could change my life. And the thing I want to point out is every person that was there, like my friend who sponsored me, and then he had a friend who sponsored him, and he had a friend who sponsored him, and then the guy that was drawing the circles, and then his sponsor, and then his sponsor, and then his sponsor. Every one of those people had no marketing experience. And several of those people in there all went on an Amway like us and were in for a long time and built big organizations. But we started with no experience because we had some of the other aspects that, you want in an MLM sponsor if you're looking for one, if you don't have one. But that doesn't mean disregard your friend or acquaintance on, social media that introduce, because like I said, if they have enough gumption to sponsor you, they could be the right person for you. Too many people that do sponsor shopping get bit. I'm going to explain that in a second. Because number one, you want longevity, and this is going to tie into it. Longevity is, we've been in a few network marketing companies in our life. Well, my son less because, of course, he's not as old as me. But every company I've ever been in, including one of them, I still get paid from every single week. And I've been paid from that company since before 2013. And we still occasionally put people into it if they're looking for the specific marketing tools, because that MLM company has marketing tools and stuff like that. It doesn't appeal to the masses like other types of companies do, like GreatLife Worldwide, what we're in, that's our main focus. But that company still pays us to this day. And that's over 13 years. I mean, 2013, 2025, you're talking 10, 11, 12, 13 years. Been paid from the same company every single week. And we still occasionally put some people into it that are looking for those types of marketing tools. So that's longevity, because, think about the people in our organization downline. What happens when you're in something long term and you start off building? This is why always having an experienced marketer as your sponsor is not always the best thing, because if you get involved with somebody that jumps around all the time, then you're not going to have help building a huge organization. Whereas maybe your friend who introduced you to, or your acquaintance on social media, or somebody's email list you're on, but they're not that big of a marketer, maybe that's your best bet, because they're truly going to help you and they're in it for the long haul. And that's going to build a much bigger organization over time and help build real residual income versus a quick shot in the pan. Because some people are only in these programs and opportunities for a quick buck. And you don't want them as a sponsor, because they're going to leave you high and dry. And it's not as important today that you have a particular sponsor. So like sponsor shopping, unless you just don't know anybody that's currently in the company you're looking at. Well, of course, then you got to go shopping, so to speak, to find a sponsor. But otherwise, you have webinars, you have Facebook groups, you have other groups that can be off of Facebook. You can have Telegram groups, you can have call-in meetings. There's so many ways to get connected nowadays to more than just your sponsor in the company, and get connected to other people building it long term that will be helpful to you because they have good character. That is why good character is so important, is you get connected, and you will, through the company, through the other, maybe your upline leader has formed a group, or somebody else has, or the company has, so that people can chime in together, because that builds that camaraderie. And that's why nowadays it's not so important that you have this sponsor that you think is going to go just crazy with it, because it's not always going to be the case. And I'm going to explain that right now. So, there are a lot of email marketers out there. We live in a digital age. Nowadays, we live in a digital age. All those companies of the past that still do marketing only offline and frown upon digital marketing, they're losing volume all the time, because belly-to-belly marketing is not like a big thing anymore, because COVID, number one, when COVID came through, who was going belly-to-belly back then? Nobody. And that kind of stuff, and it was already dying down because we were already moving into the digital age. Everybody's connected to the internet 24/7. So there's a lot of people who are email marketers, because we live in a digital age. That's how they recruit people. That's how they sell affiliate marketing products and services. And sometimes people will join a network marketing company underneath somebody that's only an email marketer. I have written here, are they an email marketer or a network marketer or both? And they'll join somebody who's in affiliate marketing as an email marketer. Sometimes they dabble in network marketing, meaning they'll blast out about it. They'll post on their Facebook for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, they're off to the next thing to make the next quick few $1,000s, because they can put in, 40, 50, 100 people in that 2 week time frame. But then most of those people, because they leave them high and dry and they're already blasting out to them and posting on their Facebook again about the next latest, greatest, A lot of those people then quit the first one and they go in the other one. And so now you never really get any spillover because you joined the wrong person who you thought was going to knock it out of the park and keep building it long term. But they're not, because they're after the quick buck only as an email marketer. Now, there are many network marketers that do email marketing, like me and my son. We're both. We are email marketers and we are network marketers. And longevity, we get paid from several companies that we've been in and have been paid for years from them. We don't jump around. We're not program hoppers. We don't leave our downline high and dry because we want to build the real residual income, the 7 figures. We're 7-figure marketers. We're not looking to make a quick 2, 3, 5,000. Most of those email marketers who do that don't realize how bad they are slicing their own throats. So if you're one and you're watching this and you're jumping from program to program to program to program, and you're an email marketer and you keep blasting them out and you're making that quick money, man, you're missing the boat big time. When you build a real organization filled with thousands of people, that's legacy income. Dexter Yeager, who is one of the most successful Amway distributors ever, has been dead for like 10 years. And his family still makes millions a year from his efforts that he did all those years past. And he's been dead for 10 years. Why? He was focused on building one company. The only time, like me and my son, change companies is if something ethical. We don't like the character of the owners anymore. It's become unethical. They do something sneaky. We don't like that. Financially, we know they're going to go down the hill because they're not good with money. They're spending all their money. We don't jump on brand new launches neither because there's no history behind the company. We want something that's in the digital age, but still has appealing nature to the masses. And so if any of those things change, is the only time we leave a company. It's got to be some really bright issue that the company's going to go downhill and be gone. Otherwise, you're going to leave people holding the bag because you're not going to be around to help them. And so that's why sponsor shopping can be really bad unless you, like I said in the beginning, unless you don't know somebody at all in a company you're looking at and you're looking to find somebody. But otherwise, you could be way better off joining that friend, joining that relative, joining that other acquaintance, or you're on somebody's email list and you like them. But just realize that you're going to be in it for the long haul. And nowadays, with all the groups and all the things like that, it's not as essential that your sponsor is going to be the one that motivates you, helps you, and all that kind of stuff. You will find other people to connect to in the company because, you still have to be able to build a business. What if you pick a sponsor and you join them and you think they're going to go to town and they don't, and then, or they do go to town for a week and they get hit by a car the next day? You still have to be building this business for you. And that's why anything, when we've joined it, we've never looked for a sponsor, period. Whoever link came in front of us, we just joined through that. Why? Because we're not building it for our sponsor. We don't necessarily need a sponsor because we know how to market, all that kind of stuff. And if we didn't, we'd learn. That's what we've always done. And so you have to be willing to step up to the plate because your sponsor doesn't pay your bills neither. And I just want you to get all this kind of stuff in your head. And that in today's day and age, that person could be perfect that you knew. Just like when we joined Amway. Hey, some of them never stayed, but none of them had experience. And some of them went on to be super successful. And that's the way it goes. You don't know who sometime is going to be the diamond in the rough. But the biggest question is, as a person that sponsors you, do they answer you? So if they introduce you to something and you start asking them questions because maybe you have a few questions about something and they don't answer you at all, then I'd probably stay far away from them. We've had people specifically join us because they went and did a test to find, they wanted somebody at least that would answer them. And so they went and contacted 5 people that they could find, or however many people that were in a company. We've had this happen more than once. And because we're prolific marketers out there, people know that when we're in a company because, of course, YouTube videos, our social media profiles, our blogging content, our email list, and all that kind of stuff. And so I accidentally hit a button there, and I'm sorry about that. And so sometimes I get excited. And so they specifically were looking for somebody to sponsor them because they didn't know anybody. And they asked them all a question. They picked these 5 or however many people and asked them all a question. And every time this has happened to us where we've had the person come to us, all the other people never answered them. And we always answer people, so they ended up joining us because of the fact that all those other people they contacted, not one of them ever answered. And they were like, wow, that's really weird, don't you think? And I'm like, yeah, but we've seen it before. He goes, you see people in something and they won't even answer you about it? I mean, I don't want to be associated with them because of that. And I get it. That does happen. So do they answer you? Ask them a question. If you got questions, ask and see if they answer you. How committed are they? Do you see them, dedication in them? Do you see that they're a dedicated person? Are they all over the map, like with hopping from program to program, and this is the greatest, that's the greatest, this is the greatest, that's the greatest, this is the greatest, that's the greatest, but they never stay in anything. Because that's where people undo all of their effort. They join something, then they join another thing, because most people go on a roller coaster ride like this when they join a network marketing company, an opportunity, a business, anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Anything that requires effort. They go from pure excitement, they get to a pinnacle up here where they're super excited. Pretty soon they start to see that, okay, this is going to take some time. Okay, this is going to take some work. Oh, I haven't really gotten any leads yet, or ain't got nobody sponsored yet. Okay, and then they start crashing. And then they get down to the bottom, they see something else, and oh God, that must be easier. And they get re-energized, and they come back up to the top. They quit that. Now they're in this, and now again they're up here. The same thing happens to them because they never stay in anything long enough to develop the marketing, to develop the why of why they're doing it. And they think that the money is just going to magically flow to them somehow, and that, I don't know what they're thinking, but they go on a roller coaster ride. See, everything that we've ever joined, that we've talked about, we're still in. Still put people in it. It's always if only those things I told you about, something ethical, companies going down, whatever, then we stop. But, our active promotion, we do put 1,000% of our main effort into one company, because that's how you build an empire. And that's what I'm focused on, is building GreatLife Worldwide, because of the fact they have fit all the boxes that of everything, and I've talked about this in other videos, so I'm not going to explain that. But you want a committed person, you want somebody that you see the dedication in, and if they're excited and it's enough to get you in, join them. And as long as they have a good character and you think they're going to be around, if you see some of these things and you don't like it, don't join somebody just because you think they might be good, but you can't stand them. And people have done that because they thought they'd be a great marketer and get them lots of spillover, and then they couldn't stand the person, and it irritated them to even be in contact with that person, and they struggled because they really needed some guidance and they couldn't get any, and they were embarrassed to actually tell anybody they were in business with this person. So the last thing is, are they hungry? You got to remain hungry. One thing that I learned from Dexter Yeager, and this is one of the greatest things I ever learned, was to keep myself mentally broke. Not broke thinking, mentally broke. What that meant was, if you can do something for yourself and it's not going to cause effort loss of building your dream, building more, helping people build their dream, like you're looking to hit a certain milestone and you're putting forth time to get to that next goal in your network marketing company. And if you can avoid paying somebody to do something for you, you do it. You keep yourself mentally broke so you don't spend money. You only spend money on the things that you have to, and you build towards goals. And that keeps you hungry the whole time. Meaning, we've been in this industry for years, and man, we're hungry. We keep ourselves not satisfied because we want legacy income. And yes, we have lots of freedom. I mean, I've been retired from a job since I was like 38 years old because of network marketing. So I don't have to get up and go to work. My son doesn't. My son's never had to. He spent 6 months working in Walmart just to launch a membership site to get some cash to pay some people to do some things for him with it, because I wasn't going to just give it to him. I want him to work for it. And he's never had to work for anybody in his entire life. No jobs. And that's what network marketing can do for you. You build a dream. The sky's the limit of what you can accomplish. So are they hungry? Do they keep themselves hungry? And that's how we keep, that's that lesson I learned of keeping yourself mentally broke. It's a long story to even explain the whole philosophy behind it and what it all means. And someday I will do a video on that, because it's been one of the most financially rewarding things I've ever learned how to do. And when you can do that, you will never have a problem with money. And like I said, I'll do it on one of the next upcoming videos here coming up. So, what to look for in an MLM sponsor? You don't need a great big giant list of things, because the person you may know may be the best sponsor for you. Be careful about sponsor shopping. You may pick somebody like that's, look on their Facebook, look on their emails, look in their social media. Are they still in the companies, or have they gone by the wayside after 2 weeks? And that's all they're doing is every 2 weeks going after quick money, because that's going to leave you high and dry. And do they answer you? Will they answer you? The person will answer you. 2 thumbs up there. Get connected into groups of whatever company you're looking to join, and get committed yourself and remain hungry, my friends. And that's how you will build your own freedom. So, other than that, my friends, hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave a link to what we do. If you do not have a network marketing home, or you're looking for a great opportunity, I will leave a link under this video in the description. But other than that, I will see you on another video, and have a great day.